Good morning. So today I'm in the kitchen and I am just really, really happy today because we're going to the water park today and I'm very excited about that. It's 85 degrees, so I'm just fluffing out my hair. I've had it back too long, so I need to start wearing it down a little bit more. I cut it a little bit too short before and now I'm like, curly hair, you never know. But anyways, I'm just very excited because today we're going to the water park, and also I woke up this morning and I felt so good because I'm gonna put this right here. I felt so good. I don't know if this will stay because there we go. I felt so good because I realized the importance of letting go of some people in my life. And at first, like, I was so resistant to letting go of people. I was so against the idea of giving up on situations and people. But surrender really is the key, I feel, to life. You know, there are certain things. There's like an elephant right here, so I'm trying to move him. He's really cute. Look at him. Surrender really is the key to life. And sorry about that. But surrender really is the key to life. And you have to surrender a lot of things, especially when it comes to people that you just can't help. People that don't want help, people that refuse to acknowledge their circumstances and their situations. And especially if they're adults, you know. Today I've realized, like, my goal is to move out of Chicago in the next 2 years. Hopefully that happens. So I'm thinking about going to school online. I'm looking into programs for my degree online because I think I want to become a therapist, and getting an MSW degree would be really good. Sorry, I'm just looking at this here. But yeah, you have to really let go. After a certain time, you can do so much for somebody. And I you know why I'm making this video now? Because I was so resistant to letting go of certain people in the past, and I didn't feel the peace that I feel now. Like right now I feel very, very peaceful, and yes, it still hurts. But I had this conversation one of my last videos, or my last video, with this man who's my neighbor, and he was telling me that life is very short, and you know, you have a vision and something for your life. And I basically realized this one little hair is just sticking out there. Hair is unruly. But I just realized that I have to let go of people and circumstances that just no longer serve me and that no longer are benefiting me for the common good, and for my own good. There are a lot of people in my life that just want to stay in situations where they stay in drama and they are in denial of their circumstances. And for a while, I was very resistant to when I first came back to Chicago, when I was living in Boston, let's start there. After my year of service in Boston with Life Together Mission Corps, which I really loved that program, I came back here because I was like, oh, well, this is my home and I'm going to stay here for a little bit. But I was resistant to it, and I always told myself that I was going to move somewhere eventually. And then I got very comfortable with being in Chicago, and I love Chicago. It's a beautiful city. I mean, there are very few cities like it. But the United States of America is such a big place, and you can make anything of your life here, anywhere really, but I'm talking about the US. And that's why so many people risk their lives to come to America. And so I thought about it, and I don't know, I'm like so like just wanting to like dance today, but anyways, so I thought about it, and I'm just excited. I'm in a really good mood, and I rested. That's the other thing, like get some sleep. I'm all over the place. Anyways, back to the video. So yeah, I came back from living in Boston, and I told myself, you know what, this life that I have here with my grandparents with so many people is stressful, so I'm gonna move. I'm only gonna stay here for a few years. And then I got used to being back here, and I started to sacrifice all the things I wanted to do, such as singing. Like, I didn't want to go back to school for my master's. I wanted to become a singer, and I still want to do that. But I have to like really take steps to doing that stuff. But I forgot about all that stuff, and so I sacrificed my life for people. I went back into, talking to people that were unhealthy for me, going into unhealthy interpersonal relationships, and I got really fed up, got depressed. And now today, why I'm in such a good mood is because I'm remembering, like, Cara, like, you wanted to move, remember? Like, you don't want to stay here forever and be attached to all the people that are in your life. I mean, yes, you can love them, but you have to love them from a distance. Like, people have to be willing to change your lives, and you can't do anything to change their lives if they're not willing to. So, yeah, so I'm just very happy today because I remember now that it's okay for me to move and it's okay for me to want to have my own life. And I'm looking into cities that I want to move to. I'm going to Florida in about, I'm going at the end of July. So in about 2 weeks, I'm going to Florida, and I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to see if Florida is a place that I like. I don't like the idea of hurricanes and natural disasters. See, that's the thing. When we live in Chicago, the worst thing about Chicago is the winters, but everything else is really great. The weather here is amazing. In the summer and in the fall. You get a summer and you get a fall. But yeah, just remember your goals in life and be happy. Like, I'm just in such a good mood because I'm like, North Carolina keeps coming up. I don't know if I like the idea of being south. There's certain qualifications for a place that I want to move. It has to be fun, has to have a lot to do because I am a city girl. I do love the country. I like the serenity of the countryside, but it's not my preference of place to live, especially because I'm young and I'm single and I like being single and I like being young. I thought about Albuquerque, New Mexico. I thought about Portland, Oregon. I like the East Coast, but I'm also thinking, see, I like New York, the idea of New York and Boston. I just don't love the winters there, Chicago is cold as hell. Like, we had temperatures this past year that were colder than Antarctica. But the amount of snow that we get in comparison to the East Coast, like Boston, New York, you fluff this out, like Boston, New York, is not as much. And so I find myself wanting to kind of stray away from that, especially because I went to school in Michigan, I lived in Chicago and all that stuff. So, so I'm thinking about, and I wouldn't want to live, I like the idea of living in California, but I feel that California is too much. So maybe Arizona. I think I'm going to take a trip to Washington, to Spokane. I think it's Spokane or Spokane. See if that's too boring for me. I like the idea of going to Denver. I have friends in Denver. I have friends all over. I have to think of my cats because now I have kids. So I'm like, I forget I have cats and I have to like really factor them into everything that I do. So that's why in the next 2 years I have to finish my bachelor's, finish this one stupid class, which I've put off because I was thinking, I think it's an unconscious thing in my mind of, do I want to be a social worker? Like, should I finish my degree? Should I go back to singing? Like, all that stuff. But no, now I'm thinking like it's time to consider moving. And a lot of people, when they have made a decision to move, they start preparing like in advance. So that's what I'm doing. I really thought about moving to Alaska, but Alaska's cold and I need to be in the sunshine for a little bit. I really like San Diego too. So I'd move out of the country. There's a fly right here and I'm just watching it. That's the worst thing about having your windows open this summer. The flies come in. They just want to be inside. And now I'm not mad at them, but I'm like, I hate flies. But no, I think that I just want to be happy. And like, I'm excited about the idea of moving and getting back into this old habit of mine where I'm like single person, independent, and all that stuff. So